Have you ever pondered the idea of detachment? Why do we cling so desperately to outcomes, possessions, and even people? It's a fascinating question, isn't it? The reality is, as humans, we naturally form attachments as integral parts of our identities. Our sense of self is intrinsically tied to these external elements, like the car we drive, the job we have, the people we surround ourselves with, our achievements, and even our deeply held beliefs. And when we lose any of these, it's like losing a part of ourselves, leading to distress and discomfort. It's as if we've misplaced a piece of the jigsaw puzzle that makes us us. But what if I told you there's another way? A way to live without these painful attachments, a way to be in harmony with the universe and ourselves, a way that allows us to be free and at peace regardless of external circumstances. Welcome to the law of detachment. The law of detachment is a cosmic principle that teaches us to detach from the outcomes or results of our desires. This principle is not about giving up our dreams or ambitions. Rather, it's about letting go of the need to control how these dreams materialize. The law of detachment is like a dance between the universe and the individual. You set your intentions, work towards them, but then you let the universe decide the path and the results. You hold a vision, but you don't dictate the way it must come to pass. It's about trusting that the universe knows the quickest, most harmonious way to fulfill your intentions. When we detach from the outcomes of our desires, we allow ourselves to reconnect with our higher selves. This is the part of us that is eternal, unchangeable, and deeply wise. Our higher self sees the bigger picture and understands that there are many paths to the same destination. It knows that sometimes what we think we want may not be what is best for us. There's another side to this law, which warns us against placing our happiness in the hands of external circumstances. It's easy to say, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or when I find my soulmate, or when I buy that house. But this is a trap because it implies that happiness is something to be pursued, something that lies outside of us. And this is simply not true. Happiness is an internal state that we can cultivate regardless of our circumstances. By attaching ourselves to certain outcomes, we give our power away. We let external events determine our state of mind. But when we practice detachment, we reclaim this power. We acknowledge that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. So, the law of detachment is not about disinterest or indifference. It's about finding a balance between taking action and surrendering the result. It's about remaining centered in a state of trust, openness, and readiness, no matter what comes our way. By detaching from the outcome, you're essentially saying to yourself, I don't care what happens, I will still be happy. You're affirming that your happiness is not dependent on external conditions, but comes from within. So how does the law of detachment empower us, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple, yet profoundly transformative. This cosmic principle guides us towards a state of pure contentment where fear and ego no longer hold dominion over our thoughts and emotions. When we practice detachment, we embrace the present moment in all its glory, free from the shackles of past regrets or future anxieties. We allow ourselves to bask in the beauty of now, unencumbered by the weight of unmet expectations or unrealized desires. Moreover, the law of detachment fosters an internal reality of happiness that is self-sustaining. It's a joy that doesn't rely on external circumstances or outcomes, but rather, it's a joy that springs from within, untethered and unending. We learn to say, regardless of what happens, I will remain in a state of bliss. By doing so, we release our happiness from the hands of externality, reclaiming our power to be, simply be. The law of detachment is a secret art, and to master it is to become truly free. Today, we've journeyed through the concept of detachment and the power it holds. We've explored our innate human tendency to form attachments, to ideas, to material possessions, to our very identities. These attachments, though seemingly innocuous, can often become shackles that limit us, binding us to a reality that is dictated by external factors. We delved into the cosmic law of detachment, a spiritual principle that invites us to relinquish these bonds. This law guides us towards an understanding that our happiness is not tied to external outcomes, but instead is a state of being that we cultivate from within. We also unveiled the transformative benefits of practicing this law. By detaching ourselves from desired outcomes, we empower ourselves to enjoy the present moment, putting our fears and egos to rest. This is where genuine freedom and joy reside. As we step into a world that thrives on attachments, take a moment to consider the freedom that detachment offers. Remember, you hold the key to your own happiness.